What's going on, guys, and welcome to a new video. This one is my personal awards and predictions. Things like player of the tournament, as you can see, golden boot, dark horse, flop, young player of the tournament, clean sheets, and who I think will be the eventual champions. So, player of the tournament to get going. I've gone with someone a little bit different that I don't think a lot of people will go for because it's not a glamorous position. But he's had a fantastic season with Newcastle. I think he's been one of the main cogs in the machine, if you will, of turning their season around. And that is Bruno Guimaraes. Obviously, he plays kind of in the holding midfield role, but he can get forward. But as I said, I don't think it's hugely likely he'll get player of the tournament because it's not a glamorous position, and they tend to favour the attackers a bit more. But as I said, he can get forward. And I think Brazil's team on paper are one of the favourites, definitely. They've got a good depth in their squad and world-class players, but the way he's playing for Newcastle and has been this season, I fancy him for this tournament. If he can stay fit and injury-free, I think Bruno Guimaraes will be player of the tournament for me. Let me know yours in the comments, guys. I'm just going to put Bruno G because I ain't even going to attempt to spell his surname. As for the golden boot, gone with someone, again, a little bit different because he's not an out-and-out striker, but he is an attacker. Fantastic for his club in the last couple of years at least. Another Brazilian, but that's just a coincidence basically that I've picked him and he's another Brazilian. But Brazil's, if you look at their squad, it's crazy in depth and talent and just ability. Golden boot though, there's a lot of players that could get this. Kane could be one of them. Mbappe maybe. Benzema. There's quite a few. Lewandowski could maybe rack up. There's Ronaldo, do you know what I mean? The list goes on. There's a lot of players that could get this golden boot. Kane got it last time. I've gone, as I said, a little bit different, and I've gone with Vinicius Jr. I'm just going to put Vinny Jr. Next up, we got Dark Horse. I've not seen anyone really talk about them in this light yet, but I feel like they will have that energy about them, the confidence, and if they get a win to start off, I think the momentum will carry through, and I think that they will have, as I said, the speed, the dominance in terms of getting on top of teams and pressing. And it's someone actually in England's group, and if you haven't guessed it by now, it's United States of America. Pulisic, I believe, is their captain. They've got Reina from Dortmund, who's a young guy that's very talented and has a lot of promise and potential. I believe they might still have Yedlin. Remember him from Newcastle back in the day. Aronson, that's at Leeds. They've got talented players. Also, Adams that Leeds have recently acquired as well. So they've got a lot of talent in that team. Quite a good bit of youth and mix of ages. And I think they will take people by surprise, and I think that they could shock a few people. And I've actually gone, if you haven't watched it already, in my group predictions that I dropped the other day, yesterday actually, I actually went with America to top the group above England. So I'm going to go with USA as my dark horse team. And I think that they could even get to, I think, the quarterfinals, in my opinion. And from there, it's a lottery, do you know what I mean? I think they could really shock some people. So it's either going to go horribly wrong, that take, or I could be close to it. So, America. Flop, for me, I have a feeling that Portugal might flop. We've had all the stuff going on with Ronaldo recently, with the Piers Morgan stuff, and United, Ten Hag, the Glazers, the owners, and then the footage that got released at the Portugal meet-up with Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo, with the handshake and the awkwardness. I think they were a little bit underwhelming in the Euros. I don't think they really lived up to what people expected. Ronaldo's getting on a bit now. I still think he can do things, but I don't think he's definitely not his peak anymore. You doubt Ronaldo at your own dismay, really, at your own peril, if you will, because how many times in his career has he come back and shut people up? And it wouldn't surprise me if he did it again, because I'm not one of these people that will just doubt him all the time and then be shocked every time, because he's proven time and time again over the years that he can shut people up when they're criticising him. So, but I just have a feeling that the chemistry won't really be there. The manager himself is quite a defensive guy, I think, and I think that their time has kind of come to an end with that squad. And they've definitely got some individuals, an overall bunch, and the chemistry, as I said, from the Euros. I'm not really seeing it, so I think that they could potentially flop and not really do what people are expecting of them. So my flop prediction is going to be Portugal. Next up, we've got young player of the tournament. A lot of candidates in this one as well. The likes of Tchouaméni at France, Camavinga. We got Pedri that got it in the last tournament. Gavi's another one for Spain coming through. The list goes on. It could even be Bellingham. I hope that it is Bellingham. I've seen people predicting that, and for our sake, I hope it is. I've gone with someone that is from one of the bigger nations, plays for Bayern Munich, 19 years old, if you haven't guessed it yet. I've gone with Musiala. I've seen a little bit of him. I haven't seen a ton of him yet, but the bits I have seen of him, he looks quality. Quick feet, technical, can score goals, box to box. I just think great technique, as I said, control, eye for a pass. He's very well rounded. I just think he's a baller and I've only seen him a little bit, but I already know that he's at that high level. And I think he will be one for the years to come with Germany and do big things. So I'm going to go with Musiala for my young player of the tournament. Next up, we got clean sheets. I think there's several in this that could get it as well. The likes of Alisson or Ederson, either of them, whoever starts for Brazil, I think it will be Alisson. But either of them could get it. I think Pickford's in for a shout for England. I think he always does pretty well at tournaments. Lloris, I'm not a fan of at France, but you could see him getting a few if France are at it. I'm not sure who Spain's keeper's going to be. I'm surprised De Gea isn't in the squad. I think that's disrespectful as hell. Who else have we got? We got Neuer for Germany, could maybe grab it. But I've gone with someone a little bit different because I think that they're going to be pretty sound defensively. I don't think they'll concede a lot of goals, and I think they'll go quite far in the tournament. And that is Martinez for Argentina and obviously Aston Villa. I know he played a vital part in that Copa America win that they won recently in the penalty shootout in the final as well. So Martinez in goal for me, Argentina, is my clean sheet predictor. For a number, I'll say 5 clean sheets. It seems like a lot, but I could see him doing it. 5 clean sheets, Martinez. And then, as for my World Cup winners, guys, a lot of people are favouring Brazil and picking Brazil, and I can understand why when you look at their squad and their depth. But there's another team that I think are very similar to them with the depth. Maybe not as well-known worldwide names, but in terms of what they've achieved recently, could be this superstar's last tournament as well. And they've got a history of winning it, and they know how to get it done. Even when they're not at their best, they've won it in the past or come very close to winning it as well. South America based, there's a clue. It's not England. I'm not one of these people that think England are going to run away with it, or we've not run away with it since '66. What's everyone talking about? The Euros heartbreak with England as well. Just, for me, anything other than winning a World Cup now with Gareth Southgate is a failure. It's a ton of pressure, but if people say we're as good as we are, we should win it. Nothing else now. We got to the final of the Euros, so now we have to win a World Cup, otherwise it's not progression. That's how I look at it. It's not England, obviously. I said it's South America based. My champions, I'm predicting them to win the World Cup, is Argentina. It could be Messi, and probably is Messi's going to be last World Cup. I think it will be Ronaldo's probably as well. But for me, they won the Copa America very recently. As I said, they probably haven't got as well recognised worldwide names and like superstars, but I think they've got the unity. They've got superstars within that bunch, but they've also got the chemistry and the fill-in players and the players that you need to step in off the bench if you need them to. Messi, Martinez as well up front, and Martinez in goal. Martinez from Inter Milan, like, he is a sick footballer, and I don't think he gets enough appreciation, and I think he could be another one in contention for the gold boot as well. He could be one to watch out for. A lot of people will predict Messi for the golden boot as well, which I completely understand. But if you're going to play some bets, you could be under the radar and get a bargain with Martinez if you back him, because I think he will get a few goals himself. Very much a poacher, fox in the box, and I think I could see him getting a few goals, so he could be a worthwhile bet for your golden boot as well. But as I said, they got a good balance, a good mixture in Argentina. You've got Romero at the back, Otamendi, Martinez in goal. You've got Messi. You've got a talented bunch there, and I think that they will cause problems for teams. And as I said, they've got a history and know-how to win that World Cup in the past. And they've got to finals and semi-finals before and come narrowly close, even when they haven't won it. And it's, as I said, I think it's Messi's last chance to finally get his hands on the World Cup. And I really want him to do it, even though I'm English. For the story and a romantic story with Messi, like, it'd just be perfect. So I'm going to go with Argentina as the world champions at the end of the World Cup to hold that trophy aloft. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Let me know your categories in the comments and who you've predicted for each category, like I've got here. Hope you like the layout for this, guys. This is only the second time I've done this layout, and I really enjoy doing it. So let me know if you like it in the comments. If you like this setting as well, rather to like the sitting down setting, and I love doing the whiteboard, so I'm hoping to do this as well in the future with different things going forward. Maybe we could do some tactical stuff. I'd love to do that with you guys, so give me your input in the comments of what you'd like to see regarding the whiteboard, and I'll see you guys soon.